Good afternoon, SJBA families in grades K to 3. My name is Kim. This is Dana. We are founding families for St. John Bosco Academy. We've used the Abeka curriculum for many years and have taught it within the St. John Bosco Academy school as well. Since 2012, we have been giving a very basic nuts and bolts workshop that simply is designed to assist you in familiarizing yourself with some of the materials that you received from Abeka books.
So when you checked the mail and all these boxes of cards came to you, I'm sure some of you went, what in the world did I order and what do I do with them? And why do I need all of these to teach my 6-year-old son how to read or how to add? Well, we hope to explain some of that today. What we're finding with Abeka and what we've known all along and loved about the Abeka program is the fabulous manipulatives that we call teaching aids. They really bring this curriculum to life for our students, our young students. Many of them are visual learners and learn better with some bells and whistles, and that's what this curriculum provides in the manipulatives that you see in front of you. And really any K through 3rd student enjoys learning better in a more colorful, three-dimensional world. So this really helps our students to learn, and we have found that it builds great students going forward. So we will make this easy for you. It will help you to figure out how to organize them and how to use them and how to go back and forth with your teachers with these great manipulatives. And so we're here to help you love these cards that you've gotten in the mail.
Great. I'm going to start with the language arts components, and we're going to talk about the teaching aids first. There are quite a few teaching aids for the language arts piece, and basically what I want you to know is when you open your charts or cards, that's what you're going to have, charts or cards, they really are labeled just like they are on our book list, and they're labeled this way in your curriculum and lesson plans as well. So if it says basic phonics charts, you are going to get charts, not flashcards, okay? So they start out very simple, but then they quickly move to 13 different charts that have basic phonograms in them. So those are the basic phonics charts. The main thing is that they're color-coded, okay? So they coincide with these basic phonics flashcards. So again, read exactly what it is on the front and look at your lesson plan and you'll know which manipulative you're using. These are color-coded. The first chart is yellow over here, and then you have flashcards that begin with K in duck. When you turn it over and use it at home, you can have your child read these CK words and then usually have them pick out one to use in a sentence, or you can assign them one to use in a sentence. These cards are wonderful for all kinds of games, which are also listed in the front of your teacher manual, and so you can make it fun. The teachers also make it fun in class when they use these, but basically the day-to-day drill with these cards is one of the most effective parts of the language arts curriculum. So again, if you go to the blue chart, you'll have flashcards that are outlined in blue, and moving on to green, purple, blue. So look for that color coding, and also look for the numbers. The charts are numbered in the bottom right corner. All of those will be directed by your teacher in the lesson plan when you are needing to use them, which will be very frequently. Okay, in some of the grades, especially in the beginning, you'll have something called clue word cards. These are smaller versions of your basic phonics flashcards. Again, they can be used for different games. Again, they're color-coded and they're also numbered. They also tell you which chart they're speaking of, okay? Which chart your student is studying at this time. So these are another version of these in a smaller format and can be used very quickly and are very effective. Okay. You'll have, in different grade levels, blend practice cards A and B. Okay. These are labeled. Okay. A1, bath, bay. Okay. This is when the child starts blending consonants and vowels together. So these are very quick ways, again, to get them to memorize and start learning how to blend letters together. They become a little more difficult as you move through, but again, are one piece that's tied into this curriculum that is very effective. Okay, there's a basic phonics CD that goes through every sound in the Abeka curriculum. It's really wonderful to have, and you can pop it into your car when you're traveling around, let your child listen to it, and that also aids in that memorization of what letters make what sounds. So you might want to look into that too. It's listed as an option on your book list. The main thing about these teaching aids is that if you organize them, you will use them. If you don't organize them, you will probably find them in the bottom of a drawer somewhere and you'll be completely frustrated. There are many different ways to organize your teaching aids. This mother used a basic tabletop letter organizer and put all of hers in here. This mother used a tabletop file. You can use an expandable fabric file, anything you would like, but you can list all of your cards. You can divide them by chart color, and then on the tab you can put the numbers 1 through 28 or whatever they are. That way, when you are assigned certain charts in the curriculum, you can quickly get to them with your fingers. This is true of math and language arts. But if you organize them, they are so much easier, and the curriculum becomes very actually fun to use. So please organize your manipulatives. Okay, let's move on to readers very quickly. I just want to touch on a couple of things. These are all just samples. They're not all the readers in grades K to 3. But when you open your readers, there's a list in the front that tells you the first reader your child will be reading and moves on down to the bottom of the list of readers. So in some grades, we have removed a few of the readers for various reasons. But your teacher, when she leads you through your agenda, will be listing what reader you're on and what page. Since some of you purchase readers that are older editions in different grade levels, you may have a slight differentiation in page number. So always be very flexible, and always look to see the name of the story that you should be reading. And the teachers are trained to list both on the agenda so that it will eliminate confusion. There's a fairly distinct lack of the Catholic faith in these curriculums, but there's nothing derogatory or damaging at all. As a matter of fact, over the years we've discovered that, for example, if your child is reading a story that mentions sin, the text is not going to mention confession as a sacrament because it's not a Catholic text. This is an opportunity for you to discuss this with your child and show them the beauty of our Catholic faith.
And one of the reasons that we use Abeka K through 3 and then change curriculum after the 3rd grade is because we see that it is not inconsistent with our Catholic faith up through grade 3. At grade 4, we choose to change curriculum for that reason.
Yes. Okay, this is another big piece of the language arts curriculum. Over the years, every now and then we get a comment that someone wants to skip this book, or my student's reading so well I don't need it, but it's an integral part of this curriculum. And again, you have all the charts in here that are color-coded in the book. You have lists of the charts and the sounds in the back, and your teacher will be assigning different pages that really work with the left and right side of the brains actually when they're learning to form these sounds and put these letters together. So please don't be tempted to skip the handbook for reading. When the teacher assigns it, simply go through it with your child. It's actually kind of fun because you get that ha, ha, hi, ha, ha sort of thing going on. So please don't be tempted to skip by that. Okay, the teacher manuals. This is an example of a teacher manual for 2nd grade language arts. The main thing about the teacher manual is, again, just like the manipulatives, if you tab it out and organize it so you can get to everything that you need quickly, you are more likely to use it effectively, okay? So all of your books are listed in it, your lesson plans, and what I would like you to do is take a few moments as soon as you get it, most of you should have it by now, and really peruse it. In the very beginning of the text, you have games, you have the scope and sequence, you have the method and approach from Abeka. So if you sit down and kind of read through that and familiarize yourself with the teacher manual, you'll be well on your way to achieve great things with your student. Okay? Okay, I am going to flip this to Dana now, who is going to talk to you about the math curriculum with Abeka.
Okay, so I love this math curriculum, and I've been teaching it for a long time. It's a great tool for teaching our students, giving the students a strong foundation in math. I'll start with the counterpoint to Kim's Language Arts Teacher Manual. This is our curriculum and lesson plan book. You can see mine's a little worn and loved, but it's been used a lot. So for math, this is where your lesson plans are, your lessons are for your teacher and the mom at home. Your teacher will guide through the agenda what you need to do here. But it's really simple. If you put a big paper clip on the lesson that you're on for the day, then you can quickly tab to where you need to be, and you're not searching through this big book every day. Most of the new lessons will be taught on the at-school days, but your teacher will refer in the agenda to some lessons that need to be taught at home or some steps that need to be covered from this book. So this is a good book to familiarize yourself with. In the beginning, in the front, are just some administrative things that you probably won't need, because we do that as a school, at the school level at SJBA. But there are also a lot of great games listed in the front of this and in the back, and also all the math facts that might be helpful in your child memorizing any problematic math facts that they haven't gotten to yet. So that's the curriculum. That's a teacher guide. We also have our wonderful manipulatives, our teaching aids. I'll start with our place value concept cards. The name place value concept cards is on the front, so when you opened it, when it came in the mail, it should say that. And it's also what your teacher will use when she writes the lesson plan, so you'll know what in the world she's talking about when she says, look at place value concept cards 1 through 10. You'll know what to turn to. These wonderful cards teach place value visually. So they've got the number on the front and the word number on the front, so they're learning how to spell that word, that number as well. And then on the back, the picture of the place value. And you really can't teach place value effectively unless you're showing a picture. So I just love these cards because these are just super effective. I'm going to find another one to show you. So 49. They're really wonderful, wonderful tools. Okay, the next one I'd like to talk about is our arithmetic drill set. So there are two different sets. They look like this. Again, they have the name on the front, and your teacher will use these names to refer to them in the lesson plan. So you'll know exactly what she's talking about on the agenda when she says, pull out arithmetic cards, so-and-so. If you're in grades 1 and 2, you'll use arithmetic drill set A. If you're in 3rd grade, you'll be using arithmetic drill set B. But basically, they have the same function. One is just a little more advanced than the other. They cover concepts that they're learning in math in a pictorial and three-dimensional way. So it's a great learning tool. On the front, you'll have all the concepts listed that will be covered in order, but it does things like shapes, fractions, ordinal numbers, linear measures, all kinds of conversions. So it just covers a really wide assortment of different concepts. And if your child is struggling in any of these, this is a great thing to turn to. This also is a great tool for teaching games. In the classroom, we love to play capture the card with these cards. I have a student behind me shaking his head, yes. And at home too, feel free to make these fun games to reinforce some of those concepts. Okay, the last card manipulative I'd like to talk about today is combination dot cards. And these are just really great ways to teach fact families. And at SJBA, our math has a strong foundation of math facts, and because of that, we build great math students. So this is key. So for example, you've got a picture version of 3 and 2 and 5, and on the other side, you've got the 2 addition statements and the 2 subtraction statements that are in that fact family. So it's a great little learning tool, and your kids will love that one. You can do lots of fun things with that. Also with math, you will have 2 sets of workbooks. One I don't have with me today. It's the big workbook, and it looks a little like this. I have the second grade version, but K through 3 will have something similar. So it'll look like this, but instead of saying tests and speed drills, it will say work text over here. And that is about this thick, and it has all the workbook pages, so you'll know which one it is. It's the one that your child will work in daily. And typically our teachers will ask, because it's a big, heavy book, our teachers will ask that the parents maybe pull out the first 20 pages and put them in the folder and leave the big book at home. But wait to hear from your teacher. She'll tell you on the agenda what she would like for you to do. But typically that could happen just to lighten the load of the backpack. The other workbook you have for your math student is this. It's called Tests and Speed Drills, and in it are speed drills, which are super important because it's driving home those math facts and perfecting those math facts, and also our tests. Please do not allow your child to look ahead at the tests. The tests are given at home typically with the Abeka program, but it's important that we get a really good idea of where your student is and if they're able to really master the concepts that are being taught in the classroom. Okay, the only other 2 books you should have for math are the answer keys. So as a parent, you ordered the work text solutions, which are the answer key for those workbook pages, and then it's going to look a little like this, but it's going to say key in the corner, test and speed drill key. So it's the answer to your tests and your speed drills. And that is it for the math program.
I want to back up just for a minute, and since she's talking about workbooks, and look back at the language arts workbook for just a moment and point out just a couple of things. In your workbooks, this is for math and language arts, you will have at the bottom a page number and a lesson number. They are going to be different. So make sure you differentiate and you're not looking down thinking you're at lesson 31 when it's actually page 31. All the lessons say lesson in front of them. So be aware that you have both numbers at the bottom. Okay? In the spelling book, that goes by the list number and a page number. So just be very conscious of what you're looking at, and your teachers are trained to write your agenda with both of these ways of writing it so that you're looking at lessons and page numbers. So just be mindful of that and you'll be good. And remember that you have your students at home for 3 days a week, and St. John Bosco Academy has them for 2 days a week. And what you put into this curriculum, you'll get out of. So really work hard with your students. If you have questions, consult your teacher, and just know that your children are getting a wonderful foundation in strong phonics base and traditional mathematics. Thanks for checking in with us today, and we will see you soon on campus.